Hey, what's up? It's Rashad. OG, of course, Tony is here. Yeah, we lied. We said we was gonna be here Friday with the year in review. We're not doing that today. We'll do that next week after the holiday. Give you something midweekish, before the New Year's. So, we can, yeah, we'll do that then. Because I forgot that today is Rebel Moon Day on
Mhm.
Netflix. The Zack Snyder joint. I just said, "Hey, did you see it?" He was like, "No, not yet." I said, "Okay, so when you see, it, let me know. We're gonna get on talk about it." I want to reserve my. I'm gonna wait to talk. I want Tony to talk first. So whenever you are
All
ready,
right.
just whatever. Just go ahead and talk. I don't.
All right. So initial thought, this was possibly the most Star Wars, non-Star Wars like movie I've ever seen with a sprinkle of Dune in it or whatever. Um, and I say that, but also too, that's exactly kind of what the premise of this movie was.
Yeah,
Just for people who don't know, Rebel Moon is a movie created by Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder went to Disney, Lucasfilm, and them and said, "Hey guys, I want to do a Star Wars movie, but I don't want it to be a Star Wars movie." And he was like, "This is like paint." Like he said, "I want to make it like a love letter to George Lucas and all this. It's going to be a Star Wars movie, but not a Star Wars movie." So and basically he wanted to be in a separate galaxy. You know what I'm saying? Star Wars universe adjacent, separate galaxy, and all this stuff going on like that. Disney and Lucasfilm is like, okay, cool, that's dope. They saw the script for it. Everything. All right, bet, cool, yeah. You know what? We're gonna hold on to this, and we're gonna put this on the shelf just for a little bit to get some stuff out the way, and we'll eventually do it. Well, evidently they took too long with coming out with it. Zack Snyder was like, "Yo, run me back my stuff." Went to went to Netflix, and Netflix, they just want to put content out anyway. It was like, all right, then let's do it, and they made the movie, and yeah, so it's still kind of fresh for me. It's like, did I like it? Did I not like it? I'm not sure. I think it was okay, maybe a little convoluted. Um, it was a lot of hype behind it. I will say this: the one negative that I have about the movie, more than anything, is Zack Snyder. I know this is your thing. It was too many of the Zack Snyder slow motion battle scenes. Every damn fight did not need every fight on every battle scene in this movie had the Zack Snyder slow mo battle scene. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, think
man,
of
just
300.
Google it. Just Google Zack
Google
Snyder
it.
slow mo.
Three
It's gonna come up.
slow mo. It's gonna come. And one of the most popular ones, and probably the most badass ones, is the 300 scene. When Leonidas was coming through, and every battle did not need that scene. That is probably like I think my biggest complaint of it was every battle didn't need that scene, and also too, I think they were trying too hard to, how shall I say, cram this entire universe into this part one of this movie. If there are going to be multiple parts of this movie, you ain't have to cram the entire, what I'm saying, for a whole lot of stuff into this movie. Just let it play out. But I liked it, but then again, I kind of was like, all right, it's cool. Rashad, your opinion?
Um, After I finished watching this movie, my first
Mhm.
thought, yeah, the slow mo thing, that was number one. I saw that. Number two, like there's just some. This movie was meandering to me.
Mhm.
I just didn't like. I couldn't get into a groove with just a story, just as a story itself.
One more thing,
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie, I did doze off a few times. I nodded off.
Yo,
Like I was
like
like watching this, and I went like that a few times. I had to like to rewind back like about 2 or 3 minutes that I might have dozed off to see. And I am not the type of person that fall asleep during when you go to hospitals and stuff, they're like, "What, do you fall asleep while you're watching TV?" Nah, I have to really be tired for that, and I dozed off a few times because, like you said, it was very meandering. I'm sorry, continue.
No. Thank you, because you're gonna solidify my point. So
Mm-hmm.
it got to the point where I was bored with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, can we? Okay, this is where I think probably me and you understand Zack Snyder and what our issue is with him. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
not as a person, he's a good guy,
Yeah,
whatever.
good guy.
When it comes to him making films, I cannot trust him to write a screenplay. I went back because I forgot because like we are both Man of Steel apologists. Love that
Yes.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like and I feel and I was like, man, why do I like this movie so much? And then I went back today. I was like, yo, who wrote that? And I forgot. It was David S. Goyer, along with some helpings of
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Nolan. They the ones who did basically help with it, did the screenplay and wrote that movie. So now
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, that's why it makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
He only directed it. He
Mm-hmm.
did not write it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have him writing this movie. And writing really ain't his like it's not his strength.
Yeah.
I feel like he had like a really good idea. Okay. You know
Yeah.
how because okay, you know how can I say this? Food. It's almost it's a holiday. Let's make a food analogy.
Okay.
This is like you having grandma's recipe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grandma wrote that recipe out. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say grandma's still living. You can call grandma and say, hey, on this part, how you do this, and that. And she says, hey, baby, this is how you do it. Make sure when you get to this part that you do this, because if you don't, you're gonna burn the whole thing and it's gonna be disgusting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you listen to grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And then the meal is great. Next year, you said, shoot, I'm gonna do something grandma ain't never did before. And then you out here putting whole pieces of corn in the cornbread, and they looking at you like, bro, what is you doing? This ain't how we eat cornbread around here.
How we do it around here,
And
Jack.
then you're like, but it's corn. You say, sir, we understand it is corn, but you don't put corn kernels in cornbread. And that's how I feel about Zack Snyder. Because he's like, yo, I'm gonna do my best Star Wars, but I'm gonna leave out all the space opera things that make a space opera and a sci-fi film like a lived-in universe. So the
Mm-hmm.
first, okay, one, instead of having a space crawl, you had Anthony Hopkins monologue for the for the for the prologue. I
Yeah.
said, okay, all right, we're talking instead of having to read. I get that. The next scene of them establishing Sophia Botella, who I love as an actress.
Mm-hmm.
She does stunt. Well, I'm not sure if she's doing the stunt work, but she does like physical stuff really, really well.
Yeah.
Go back to the Kingsman when she
Yes.
villain. She had like the
Mm.
little like the
Yeah.
sore legs,
Yeah.
and we see her and we see the other protagonist who ends up being a little hoe and gets the dude killed from the town that
You
they're
know that
in.
you know who that was, right?
Who is that?
Dario Naharis from Game of Thrones.
That is him.
It's Dario Naharis. Excuse me, Dario Naharis number 2. Second Dario. It's funny. I think both Dario Naharises were in this movie.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah. So and that is that, and we have this establishing shot, right, of her
Mm-hmm.
tilling the ground because they're farmers, they're just a humble people, a humble community,
Mm-hmm.
and that shot looked like they were on somebody's backyard
Pause.
because
Pause real quick.
go ahead.
Yes, both men that play Dario Naharis are in this film. The very first Dario Naharis in season 3 of Game of Thrones, the long-haired dude.
Yeah.
And then also he was the main villain in this movie. And then the whole ass dude that got his homeboy killed and everything. He played the Dario Naharis that we all knew from them that for which is even more hilarious. I'm sorry,
And
continue.
yeah, that's just an interesting little tidbit. You know, we love
Yeah,
Game of Thrones around here.
right.
So that establishing shot, so for me, for this to be like your opening scene to like explaining what's going on in the movie outside of the, you know, the prologue,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it just looked like the volume. And usually I don't notice that stuff because I kind of I don't want to, so I turn my mind off to that type of stuff. I don't go nitpicking from the jump. But how it looked and how it was the shot was composed, I just was like, man, this looks really, this looks off.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of shots like that I just don't care for. Like one, and he did this a couple of times. There's this thing where he's using depth of field, which is just like an immense amount of bokeh in the shot. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why is like it's like look at me right now.
Mm-hmm.
You see how like behind me everything is blurred out. I had this on 1.4 for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm cut out, you can see me. It's like if I went like back a little bit further and
Mm-hmm.
then use like digital blur as well too. Cause like
Yeah.
it just okay. That scene when they was when we had like the white girl that almost got raped, which was another thing I
Yeah.
want to talk about.
Yeah.
When she was talking to the robot, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That shot right there, like I thought it was something wrong with my eyes. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, what like, because you know I've been having migraines, so I'm just making sure like that I ain't about to have migraine. I'm like, hold up, yo. And then it
Yeah.
happened again. I was like, yo, why these some weird choices
Yeah.
being made amongst like some really cool shots and cool action scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, minus all of the slow-mo, but it just like the slow mo literally slows the movie down,
It did.
and not in a good way. For
It
example,
did.
when they fought the like the weird Madam Web spider looking lady,
Yeah.
that scene would have been so much doper if it was just in regular time.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because it'd be like,
Definitely.
and then boom,
Definitely.
spider's dead. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? It just was just some very weird choices. Also, them
I
hold
will.
on,
Oh,
I just
boy.
gotta
Go.
get this out before I
You
forget.
cooking, baby. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Also, when they sprayed down Jimana Hansu like he was a dirty slave, you know what I'm saying? At auction, wasn't feeling that either. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Mm-mm.
why are we doing this? It's just
Mm-mm.
again some weird choices. They had this man, he was a vagabond, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, he's like really ready to fight the Imperium. That's that's what they call it, right?
Yeah. The
Okay,
Imperium.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Fight the Imperium. So it's just like some of this stuff sped along, right? A lot of the character development stuff just sped along. Like
Yeah.
like he was like, "Hey, I want you to come on a ride with me, and I want you to believe that all these people are really going to do the things that they said that they used to do and that they want to do now." And I'm like, "Yo, like, what is okay?"
And we
The
don't even
fact
find
that
out what these people do, or like why they gung ho about it until the end of the movie. And the villain dude is the one that says explains what each of them have that he likes.
Tony, why did we just meet the Bloodstones, which is like essentially like our most you know like idealized look at like Luke and Leia. If Luke and Leia both was out here fighting for real, like Luke and Leia, like you know,
Some dreads.
after the facts, if they was
Yeah.
both really fighting, they both had the force using it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't find out about them until the third act of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dagon Cyborg gets killed. They killed that man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you really brought your boy on to this movie
Uh-huh.
just to kill him. I'm hoping that they do some flashbacks in like the next movie
Yeah.
Because if you just bought him on one movie just to kill him,
Yeah.
then
You're not doing him no favors, considering he's
disservice.
basically
Like,
been black. Listen, I was excited. I was like, oh, they got my man, what I'm saying, Ray Fisher back in movie. He doing a movie. I said, of course. Zack Snyder's like, yo, I'm gonna look out for you, guy. I know you've kind of been blackballed a little bit for speaking out against Hollywood and everything. I'm gonna get you in this movie and do this, and you only have, and then like when you finally get to the third act, when they start talk, when they start talking about him, this guy was Blood Axe or whatever they call him, and they talk about him, and you like, yo, this dude must be really a problem. I can't wait to see, to see what the going on is. And then what happens? He probably has 5-10 minutes of screen time, and he's dead.
dog, Tony.
Like, I understand if you want to use that as a cameo role for like a major, like not saying that Ray Fisher is not a major actor, you know what I'm saying, but like for a big time actor or something like that. But that's what we do for my guy.
Tony, Ray Fisher out here doing hella press for this.
Yeah.
Just for him to die. Like, I really hope that he didn't die, or that they bring him back via flashbacks, because it's just like,
nah, man, that nigga
dog.
dead, yo. Yeah.
What, dead? Okay.
Dove off a platform and missed the first spear. Took about 3 shots at point blank range. The daggone speared him and then passed out just enough to drag to make the ship crash onto the platform or whatever. Yeah.
Tony. So also, and this is like, so like especially midway through the movie, man, I just was like, bro, like, what is, like, why are we, like,
what is going
on? Like the getting the team together, that took so long. Like,
didn't it?
When they went to that planet and we got like the magical aboriginal that had like the random locks.
Yeah, the dude that knew how to communicate with wild animals or something like that.
Yeah. He had like
that took so damn long.
I'm like, why am I watching him tame this like huge bird? It's just taking so long, and then the fact, like, it didn't make, like, okay, like, I understand do the special, okay, we get that. And another thing, another nitpick too. Why him and Jamal Hansu never had a shirt? Like, they didn't get this man no clothes. Like, he was in this planet, in this mining planet. It looks cold there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they just out here just bare chested, just talking. I'm
sexy
like,
Aboriginal man of color. That's what.
Yeah.
Out there smithing it up.
Yeah, him and the only 2 people of color out here ain't got no clothes on. Yeah. So, I mean, just small stuff, man. Like,
I'm gonna tell you what that whole scene reminded me of. And it reminded me of Kanto Bite. It was unnecessary. They're like, oh, is that the Star Wars? Was that the Star Wars version of Kanto? Is this the Rebel Moon version of Kanto Bite here? It really wasn't. Seriously, because I know you like the Last Jedi.
Yeah, but Kanto Bite sucked, man. Like,
it need to be like, on Kanto Bite that long, but that's how it felt.
No. It was a couple beats too long. I do understand everybody's point. It was an odd shift. Yo. Yeah. Tony, why was this okay? why was this movie so overtly sexual? Like so when and can't even say I know what you're about to talk about. Why was there a space vagina, yo? Like, when did you see, like, when the ship came through, like out of hyperspace?
Hyperspace. I said, I think I've seen this before.
So that looked real familiar, yo. I was like, yo. I said, Zack Snyder, man, you horny bastard. Like,
also, yeah, there was a lot of sexual. And then you had the weird alien dude that wanted to smash. I was confused at this. I was like, what's going on? He was like, hey, I got a bed upstairs. real soft. And I was like,
He said
what?
the sheets are fairly clean.
The sheets are fairly clean.
Oh my God.
And then grabbed my man by his junk. And then when old girl was like, hey man, he was like, you jealous whore. I said, what is going on here?
I didn't get it. All right. And also like going back when they was on, on the Rebel Moon. Like you can see the setup of like this is the stereotypical. We got troops, we got a native people, we gonna rape the girls. Like it's just so annoying. Like we have to find a better way to make men like be evil without them trying to sexually assault somebody all the time. Like it's kind of it's a played out trope to me.
They need to look at some old school wrestling on how to be a heel and see how to make somebody a heel. You make somebody, you know what I'm saying, unlikable and everything like that. And I mean, they're already unlikable. They were the, you know what I'm saying, like they were also almost like, I want to say this so we don't get tagged. Let's see. The space version of a political party that we fought in World War II. Based out of Germany.
That were led by a dude that had a real weird mustache thing going on. Yo. So I mean, again, those are the very typical bad guys in the Star Warsian type situation. Is always like a totalitarian regime that's trying to take over everybody. You know what I'm saying? And even with that, okay. And this is the part where if we actually took time to establish some stuff, then things would have made more sense. Okay. And this is another thing I hate because everything has to be revealed nowadays, which is just, just personal gripe of mine. So finding out that, I'm not sure we said spoilers or not, doesn't matter. Like finding out that the king is actually like alive, maybe on some level, maybe he's like alive in like some sort of like altered state. Like his maybe
consciousness is like a
centers, like maybe he's like on some Senator Palpatine, Darth Sidious, like his consciousness. Well, go ahead.
Or in the Marvels, the Kree,
the Supreme Intelligence.
Yeah,
that I mean, either way, he's around. And like having that like kind of be like the big reveal, like, oh my God, like your boy's still alive, he's trying to find his daughter and this whole noble thing. It's just
because he's the guy that took over after the royal family assassinated, right? That's the one that old girl like she was going to kill, and he took her in.
Yeah, he had her. They had a Thanos and Gamora moment.
Yeah, very, very, very Infinity Warish on that. You know what I'm saying, little thing.
Children of Thanos.
Yeah.
It's So I feel like if the inner workings of the Imperium were kind of just like that, like I think this movie falls to what Zack Snyder does best and worst. Zack Snyder does visuals amazingly. Everything else sacrifices because of it.
So I just went go ahead. Okay, so I just went back and looked at his little movie history and stuff like that. Looking at the movies that he has done, that he's written.
Yeah, go ahead.
And direct.
Which ones did he do?
The only one that I like so far is 300.
Okay.
He wrote 300. He's the writer for 300. I've never seen Sucker Punch. You ever see?
Nah.
Okay, cool. The sequel to 300, which really wasn't that. It was
Rise of the Empire.
Yeah, that really wasn't that right. He did the story for Wonder Woman, but he didn't write it. But the first Wonder Woman was good.
Oh yeah. No. He just was like there because he was kind of over the whole DCU thing.
Yeah, so that's the same thing with Justice League and that Army of the Dead, that Netflix. That one was actually kind of fun. It was a little fun. I don't know if you ever did you ever watch that one?
Nah.
Okay, it was fun. I'll give it that. those are the movies that he wrote. And those are the ones that you're like, out of all that 300 is like the only one that's like,
That's what I'm saying, man. Like
yeah.
they letting this man like really like get on the court like he got 50, 40, and 90. You know what I'm saying? And he not Steph Curry out here. He's not Steph.
Wasn't shooting in the gym.
He's more like Draymond. You know what I'm saying? Was valuable early on, but now you just hitting people in the face for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, like I had hopes for this.
Me too.
I had very high hopes for this. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said earlier, I don't know if I liked it or if I didn't like it. I just felt like it was a lot. Just, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot.
And that's the crazy part. Like you should never walk away from something not knowing how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Because not knowing how you feel about it is again another sports analogy. It's like having two quarterbacks. If you have two quarterbacks, you have no.
You don't have no quarterback. As a Washington football team fan, trust me, I know all about that.
Like that's really that's what it is, man. Because I swear, like I want and okay, if you're coming here, you've never heard us talk or whatever, it's gonna sound like we hate Zack Snyder. Nah, like I really don't. Like I like him, but I like him when he's fully reined in. Did we review the Snyder cut?
I don't know if we did. I can't recall.
Did we just talk about it?
I think we talked about it.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Pandemic time. So Snyder cut came out. We both watched it. So I don't believe in talking about stuff that I ain't see or didn't experience. And the first thing I texted Tony was, you can never let Snyder go full Snyder.
Yeah.
And this is a byproduct of that sentiment, Rebel Moon. He was allowed to have his full reign over the whole entire thing. This was okay.
He was a pit bull without a leash.
Something. And let's really get into the part that's gonna piss me off the most. Excuse me. That's the fact that there's gonna be a director's cut of this. I refuse to watch it.
No, I'm not watching no Snyder.
I refuse to watch another version of this movie that's gonna fill in the gaps of the crap that I don't know either he was forced to take out or he took out on purpose so we can then go back and like watch this again in a different way so Netflix can still get these streams and have people coming back to the product. I don't like it's like they're trying to manufacture this hype based upon what he's done in his rabid, let's be honest, his rabid fan base, and they're trying to cash in on that. I see some people talk about it, and I really didn't want to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard like early on, I said, "Yeah, there's gonna be like a rated R version of this." I'm like, y'all should have just it's Tony, it's Netflix, just make it rated R.
Yeah,
like no, like the average 13-year-old is not gonna watch this anyway.
Yeah.
So what matter? This is they not like look, Tony, they're not putting this on during Christmas Day. No. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's watching this. We watching Lakers who playing whoever on Christmas Day.
You know, you might watch daggone A Christmas Story twice or something like that. You know, so
I'll be watching Die Hard before I watch this on Christmas Day.
Trading places. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this Christmas.
Right. Yeah. So
I'm lying, I ain't watching that.
So, you know, the guy I work with, shout out to my guy Kevin McCarthy. He reviews our Entertainment Report reviews. I asked him, you know, excitingly early this week, like, yo, Kev, did you see because he's seen a lot of the movies that we want to see already, like been out and stuff. I said, yo, Kev, did you see Rebel Moon? He was like, yeah. I said, so what you think? He was like, it was all right. You know, and when he said that, I was like, huh. He was like, I mean, yeah, I know it was like a Star Wars type thing. He says, you know, I'm into Star Wars, but not like that, but it was all right. And at first I was just like, well, you know, I know Kevin isn't really into Star Wars. Like he likes Star Wars, but he's not into it like that. So maybe that's, you know, since this is supposed to be like a Star Wars-esque movie, Kevin, I agree with you. If you see this, it was all right. I mean, it was just like, And like you said, Rashad, this was Zack Snyder unhinged, unchecked, and not like reined in.
Man, like again, so I'm gonna be super honest. Let's look at like another space opera, which is gonna come back out next year in March. As a matter of fact, around the same time that the sequel for this one comes out, and that's gonna be Dune. So the first like Dune was like almost like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right. It's long, it's wordy. Some of the stuff did not make sense to me, but I was never bored.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm
You was
saying?
intrigued.
Yeah, very, very much so. It had a lot of the same elements, even like shot wise. There are some superfluous things going on in that movie because Denis Villeneuve, he did on purpose. And I was like, this looks really good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or just okay, for example, using scale as a way to measure how big something is in comparison to something else. Like doing stuff like that, and just how even like a Bene Gesserit is super interesting, or just like like Zendaya and all like the basically like the people on that planet, like all that is interesting. You know what I'm saying? But when I look at something like Rebel Moon had all the elements there, had all the like the casting was great, all the elements was there, but the story does not come together. Now,
you know what it was?
Go ahead.
The story didn't give me a reason to care.
You're exactly correct.
The story did not give me it did not give me a reason to care. As far like with Doom, it gave me a reason to care. Their Imperium, which is took it over, most of the galaxy. You have the great houses. Hey, they're trying to get this spice material to fly, and you got these warring houses. You got these two warring houses right here, and you have the Emperor who feel like one of the houses is getting a little bit, as my grandmother used to say, too big for his britches or whatever. It made you care. Same thing with Star Wars. It made you care. There was a galactic empire terrorizing folk, and like the opening shot of A New Hope is a ship trying to get away from this massive star destroyer, and they get boarded, and then within the first few minutes, you see Darth Vader, and you're like, what the hell is this, and why is this guy after? It made you care. This movie did not make me care about no characters. It didn't make me care about really a lot, just about nothing in this movie. I'm gonna tell you who I'm more interested in out this movie.
Who's that?
Anthony Hopkins, the robot character. And I'm not trying to, because I thought that was interesting, but because what they say the robots were the knights to protect the king and everything, and they said when they got overthrew, what did they do? They said those knights all like basically like dropped their weapons down and subjugate themselves, and he's the last surviving knight. He's like, yo, my main purpose is protect the house, but there's nobody there.
And they became pacifists.
Yeah.
And then on this, okay. Weird choices, man. Like, and then we have like even when like the girl and the robot are having this scene together, like down by the lake, because there's acting like a jerk to the robot, of course, and whatever. And they're talking, and he's talking to the girl and having this conversation, like, oh, you remind me of the daughter, blah blah blah, and she like basically like touches him, and then he lights up. I was like, yo, you about to have like a horny robot too? Like it just was some odds goings on, and then like she gave him like a crown of sorts. You know what I'm saying?
And at the end, you see he has like Baratheon war antlers on his.
Yeah, he's Baratheon. Where's Melisandre at?
Right. Like, the antlers. What are we doing here? It's just like, I say, what are we doing?
Man, looking like the Order of the Elks out here, bro.
Right.
Like, I don't. It did like it's just.
Yeah.
It's just some weird choices, man. I know, like some people are gonna say like, yo, you can't really judge a movie based on not having a complete story, but a movie, if it's a part one of part two, part one should have a cohesive story. And that's and to be honest,
you have to draw us in.
You already know, like that's like one of my complaints of Dune. Of like Dune, it was like a serious continuation. Like it's not. It's a hard stop at the end of Dune 1.
Like, you're welcome.
Boom. I hope you come back. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, we didn't even know it was supposed to be a part. They just made it seem like it was gonna be one movie. And the next thing, and the thing is, even the movie was 3 hours long. It really didn't feel like it was 3 hours long.
Because the movie really didn't, like, to be honest, they like, and that's like the amazing part of that movie, because it kept you intrigued until your boy actually became, like, you know, the prince who was promised. Essentially, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like, until that actually happened, you know what I'm saying? We was like, yo, what's going on? Anyway. All right, I want to end on a real funny note. Still back on this movie. I'm sorry. That was trash, y'all. If you say this long, this is my real opinion. This movie was trash, man. Like, I wasted 2 hours and 14 minutes today just so I could do this review to tell y'all it was really trash. I'm sorry. Like,
and the fact that here's the thing, we were excited about this.
I was so excited about this. All right, here's some tweets. I'm not sure if you ever heard of Neurotic on
yes,
I've read coloring books with more of a sophisticated plot than Rebel Moon. All right. Other dude, I don't know his name. Rebel Moon Part 1 is a movie that has no interest in taking time introducing its main characters, but will spend a good 10 minutes on a group of grunts who are planning to rape a girl, and then 5 minutes on their attempted rape, while Sophie Boutella slowly decides to save her. Rebel Moon almost directly recreates the Star Wars cantina scene, with the primary difference being that it turned this guy into a gay sexual predator. What was that cooking? And it's Papa, it's what's that man's name? I forgot his name.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
With the
Balchinian type of dude.
Yeah. All right, my man said Rebel Moon, Child of Fire, 5 out of 10. Watching Rebel Moon made me love the recent Star Wars content a lot more, because this was a total and utter disaster. Rebel Moon was mediocre sci-fi. Think Star Wars dodged a bullet, not greenlighting Snyders script. All right, here's my last one. I'm 30 seconds into Rebel Moon, and I see that it is carrying on the grand tradition of Zack Snyder's sci-fi movie opening sequences that feature methods of space traversal that look like genitalia. And referring back to the pods that look like penises on on Man of Steel. Hey man, that's our time. We'll be back next week and talk about our year in review. If you haven't been watching, we're also gonna do probably like an overall review for What If Season 2. First episode was a banger. All right.
I gotta about to watch that now.
You good, man. That's all the time we got, man. Till the next time.
Peace.